It only took 11 days, bipartisan criticism, and serious health concerns from Mayor Pete to finally respond to the disastrous train derailment in Ohio. Toxic cancer causing chemicals spewing into the air after a 50-car train packed full of hazardous materials veered off the tracks earlier this month. Homes were evacuated, and authorities started a controlled burn that set off a massive plume of black smoke. Just days later, people were told it was safe to return to their homes. But now there's disturbing reports of animals dropping dead and people getting sick.
Their homes should have been cleaned from the onset. These people were being marginalized in an effort to mitigate this.
This is the first time I've been here in a week, and I was here 5 minutes, and I have a headache right now, and you can smell it. Anyone who comes here who hasn't been here can smell it. If it's so safe and okay, then why does it hurt?
Buttigieg making his first public comment about it last night on Twitter. He could have brought it up during an event yesterday, but instead made jokes.
We've faced issues from container shipping to airline cancellations. Now we got balloons.
That's right.
Okay, why are these people...
Of infrastructure where you got a neighborhood, often a neighborhood of color, that finally sees the project come to them, but everyone in the hard hats on that project looking like, doing the good paying jobs, don't look like they came from anywhere near the neighborhood.
Okay. All right. So they keep saying it's so safe. It's so safe. So why doesn't Buttigieg, who just decided to talk about it almost, 13 days, 10, 12 days later, why doesn't he go visit the site if he's so concerned?
It was just a week ago tonight that President Biden gave his State of the Union speech, and a big portion of it was about the forgotten man, right? And he was talking about labor unions, really. That's what he was trying to get at. But what about these people? And they really did feel forgotten for a week. And where is FEMA? Right? Why aren't they on the scene right away? The Secretary of Transportation, I understand having a lighthearted moment at an event, but this is really serious. I had a friend of a friend reach out on Sunday night and say that, and I think you had it on last night, where the fish are turning up dead in the rivers. Well, that should portend that there might be a very serious problem. And so, unfortunately for the people there, I think they're in for the long haul here. But because of this attention, maybe they will be able to get some place safe where they can wait it out to make sure that it is going to be okay to be there, because we don't need long-term health effects on top of the fact that their lives were just upended.
Well, Greg, in addition to all that, we have a recollection of 9/11 when I think it was Christy Todd Whitman came out. She had been the EPA director and then the governor. And everything is safe. Everything is safe. And we saw what happened then. The shame of it is this is in a poor area. It's in a minority area. And nobody's really talking about it until Governor Wine today got up and said it was outrageous.
Yeah, you can't blame them because they're busy. Mayor Pete is busy. He's got some pretty big issues that he's dealing with. For example, did you see what he said about construction workers?
Yep.
That it's really a problem that their skin color doesn't match the diversity of a community. And that's really got to upset people. I remember as a kid walking around, and I was very upset whenever I saw a minority construction worker. I was like, oh my God, no, they all have to look like me. That was a primary concern. All the other things about safety and whether the product was, that was not as important. This is the problem with catering to the woke. They don't have time for real problems. So they chase these completely made up ones. A train derails or a plane crashes, but they worry about the white construction worker offending somebody who doesn't exist. I don't believe a single person has ever expressed a problem about a construction worker's skin color, unless it was another construction worker. But this is if you want to talk about a toxic spill, look at wokeism and what politics is doing to every part of life. I mean, it's injecting race into everything, including our buildings and our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is now racist.
Geraldo, there are more than 1,000 train derailments a year in this country.
1,700.
And the truth is that I looked into what was on this train, and in addition to the cancer-causing hazardous waste that they had, hazardous materials, they also had frozen food. They had seminola, which is wheat. And there was no requirement to even notify the state that there was hazardous waste.
There's a train derailment, several every day, 1,700 in the country every year. The main reason, broken rails. Pete Buttigieg is the most disappointing member of President Biden's cabinet. I don't mean to make it ad hominem. I don't mean to make an attack on him. But where the hell was he for the baby formula? Where was he for the supply chain disaster? You know, where is he when he wanted to be president? He got accused of racism early on in his career, so now everything is about race, to Greg's point. But in terms of the job of transportation secretary, that's a hard hat job. He should be where the action is. If the airports are getting all screwed up, he should be at the airport. He should at least symbolically be there to express the concern of the federal government. It is absurd. I live in Cleveland, 80 miles from what you're looking at. Pittsburgh's 50 miles away. The first thing Erica asked me is, what's the prevailing wind? Is it going to blow this way? We're going to have this vinyl chloride's no joke. It's like World War I poison gas. You've got to really be very, very careful about it. Buttigieg, to me, he is very, very disappointing, and I hate to say it. Race matters, but everything is not about race. My brother Wilfredo, my late brother, was the first Puerto Rican steam fitter in Local 1 in New York. He put the sprinkler system in the World Trade Center. They were working on the police headquarters when the planes hit the World Trade Center. I know about unions. If the Democrats are serious about integrating construction work and related industries, they should go to the Democratic unions, and they should be the people who are in the vanguard of integration. And to make a fuss about it without any specifics, it is so insulting to the people of Ohio particularly. But that black smoke is for real. What if you're looking out your own window and you're looking at that? And you're wondering, where's your kid? And your frog just died, and you fish your belly up. And, it's pathetic. I think that this is really, and it got too little attention, Judge.
And if hazardous chemicals got into the water and killed the fish, how in the world can the EPA say that the water is really safe? And then what are the long-term impacts or effects as the water, the tributaries of a river continue to go southward? The Ohio River flows through Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Missouri, Louisiana, Georgia.
You can't believe what the EPA tells you, because industry stacks the EPA with industry hacks. And that's how, it's not a bunch of tree huggers at the EPA, it's a bunch of cover-up artists. The only reason people cared about the story in the first place was because animals were dying. It's our country's so funny. You show a picture of dead fish, dead chickens, dead birds. And,
dead whales.
Oh, my God, dead whales. Oh, my God, fish are dying. Rabbits are dying. And then all of a sudden, Judge, they told us to stay inside for a year because of COVID, because of people that most 99% got a runny nose. There's a toxic WMD goes off, and they're like, go back to work. They declared a national emergency for monkeypox. Monkeypox.
Remember?
Go back to work. He doesn't shoot a Chinese spy balloon out of the sky over Montana. He's worried about the debris might hit someone.
A cow.
There's a toxic explosion in the state of Ohio. It's fine. Kids are going back to school. Don't worry about it. They have to haul these guys, the EPA, Mayor Pete, the people that run these trains. They splash so much money over these politicians. I looked at their donations. Every politician in America took money from this train company. They got this whole place wired. So they got to haul them in, and they have to be accountable and pay chemical reparations to this entire town or county, because everyone's going to have cancer in 20 years.
I wonder if Joe had a key to that train.
Yeah. The guy talks about trains nonstop. You can't stop talking about trains until one basically goes off the rails and going to kill everybody. And now he's nowhere to be found.
And I wonder how many lobbyists were involved in the legislation that says, if you only have this percentage of hazardous waste, you don't have to alert the state that you have hazardous waste.
They killed regulations in 3 straight administrations.
Exactly.
It's a powerful company.
Exactly.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.